What's going on, YouTube? What's going on? How are y'all doing this evening? Good morning if you are on my side of the globe. What is going on? First, see, we got 31 watching. Please hit the like button. Um, please hit that like button. Uh, Last weekend, you guys kind of got caught up in Phuket. Um, so I apologize for last weekend, but I don't know. Be honest with you, I think I kind of needed a break from the live shows. Try to find little breaks in and out, whenever I can. Just a lot, man. Just a lot going on. Um, some things I got to handle when I get back home. I'll be back home in a couple weeks. Going back home for Thanksgiving and Christmas, and then I'm coming right back out here. So, 2025, I'll probably be gone. Gone till November. Pun intended. Anyway, let's see what we got. Please hit that like button, y'all. Uh, Let me see. I just saw a comment that I like. Yeah. Too many beta men in general. I agree, brother. I agree. But reason why I wanted to refer to black men in particular is because of how the black men voted based on the chart. And another reason why is because I saw a couple guys on TikTok mention it, but then I came across this video that I'm gonna react to, where Candace Owens is going back and forth with a black guy that I've seen before. I actually remember seeing him on Ebony K. Williams' show as well when she was, when she went viral for all the crazy shit she was talking when she first went viral. And he was over here defending her. And then I see him, the same dude, going back and forth with Candace Owens, and I'm just kind of like, and then I'm seeing guys like, what his name, Don Lennon, whatever dude name is. I'm seeing how he acting, and I'm just like, damn, man, you know what, man? I'm like, maybe this is something that I need to talk about, man, because I'm starting to notice it too. Especially when I saw that chart and I saw how many. Now, don't get me wrong, the more black men voted for Trump this year than they did in years past, but to still see it be like 80% or damn near 80%, I'm like, shit. Mm-mm. Yeah, thank you for that, man. Make sure y'all check out the music. Next mixtape is actually dropping on Black Friday too, so I'll be uploading that in the future. So be on the lookout for that. Yeah, thanks for dropping the links, Alex. Appreciate that. Yeah, make sure y'all check out the travel vlog channel as well. Hot. It actually rained the other day though. It's actually been raining a little bit the past couple days. Hot and busy. I see why some people don't like Bangkok. I'm like, nah, but now that I've been here, because this is like the longest amount of time that I spent in Bangkok. Um, I'll be here for 10 days. So far, I've been here for almost a week now because I got here last Sunday. Um, Bangkok's cool. I can see like there being a lot to do. It is more expensive. And I'll be going over that on the travel vlog channel because I think I underestimated um, how expensive it is compared to Pattaya and Phuket. Because um, as far as catching a ride, even on a bike, it's more expensive than Bangkok. I mean, excuse me, more expensive than Pattaya and Phuket. That's the first thing I noticed right off the bat. Because when I went to go shoot content, I went to the I went to that tower, the building that looks like it's digitized, the really tall towers, like 78 floors. Um, just going from where I'm at all the way over there was like 100 and something baht, which really ain't nothing. Ain't nothing but like $4 or $5. But for that same distance, it probably would have been twice as cheap in Pattaya, maybe a little less in Phuket. So, but I guess with Bangkok being the capital, um, being where a lot of things go on, especially from a financial perspective, it would kind of make sense for it to be the most expensive, but still very affordable. Plenty nice apartment condo complexes out here. You can get a really nice 1 bedroom for like four, five, $600 a month. So I mean, as far as like the cost of living, seems like no matter what city you go to, it kind of varies, but still very affordable. Um, but I think when it comes to the difference of cities, I think the biggest difference that I see in pricing comes from transportation. I will say that. That's what I'm noticing. So, just trying to pick up things is like, my God, it's hot as hell. Arnell, Edwin, man, what's going on? That was Advocate 7. Okay, we got San Diego in the building. Okay, Big Bob. Yeah, yeah. That's what I've been trying to do, to be honest with you. Wow. Hey, you know what? I'm gonna be doing, and I know because I know it's a few people that were kind of like. It was one guy in particular was trying to get on me about covering this election stuff because I'm like, I'm not a really big political person, but the reason, what a lot of people don't understand about RP content is that RP content always included um, politics to some degree, because in order because our RP content goes deeper than just women. Let's just say that, uh, because it's called him Don Lemonhead. I'm mad as hell. Stupid Jermaine. But dude, I came across some videos. It's some people out here that are like beyond crashing out over this collection. I came across a video of a guy that wouldn't even serve a man in a restaurant just because he had a MAGA hat on. I'm seeing clips of guys walk around with MAGA hats on just to see what people's reaction, and it was mostly women that were just looking at them in disgust. Um, the worst one I heard is um, a woman unalived her father, bro. Are you fucking serious, bro? There is a story of a woman that unalived her father over this election, y'all. The reason why I've been covering it in particular, because for one, the algorithm is begging for it and it's showing in my views. But two, look how people are reacting when they don't get their way. What does it remind you of? About the shit that I talk about on my channel all the time, bro. Right. Facts. Yeah, Tim. Yeah, I heard about that stat too. That's crazy, ain't it? Oh, damn, man. I appreciate that, man. I'm like, I get comments like this all the time, bro. I appreciate that so much, bro. I really do. Yeah. Yeah, that's crazy, Mrs. Don. I was just talking about that. And I ain't even see that comment. That's wild. But yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's going far beyond women just over here throwing temper tantrums now, bro. That's crazy, bro. Now, how much you want to bet if Kamala won, you would have not seen the same reaction, bro. You wouldn't see the same reaction. That lets you know there's something going on in the West, bro. Guy Incognito with the $5 super that says we have a lot of black men who don't know how to disagree with each other respectfully. It's all female catfighting. Dudes fight like women. I voted Kamala. Hey, appreciate you, bro. Thank you, man, so much, bro. And see, and that just go to show you that I know who people who watch me are mentally stable and got common sense. Because Guy Incognito, I recognize your name. I think you've been watching me for a long time, and the fact that you can even first of all be willing to um, donate to the channel, and you always know it's appreciated. And the fact that you voted for Kamala, but you still willing to come in. And now y'all know me, I don't vote, but if you know, for you to be like, for you to state that, man, lets me know that. And see, and it's funny too because another thing that I'm starting to notice, Guy Incognito, a lot of people that traditionally always voted Democrat, just because that's just the way to go. There are a few of them that even though they voted for Kamala, they're kind of looking at other people that voted for Kamala and seeing how they're reacting, and they're looking like, okay, like the women on the View that was getting on Sunny, like they don't like Donald Trump, but they understand why people voted for him. And looking at how Kamala ran her campaign, what did you expect people to do? We're gonna talk about. Well, I'm gonna try to. We're gonna talk about that a little bit more in depth um, tomorrow, because tomorrow is gonna be more like a call-in show, man. Because I also think that this kind of content is one of the reasons why more men voted for Trump this go around as well, man. Especially when you consider what's been going on the last 4 years. So yeah. He said Don Lemon soft as whipped cream. I'm mad as hell. Mike Hoff gifted one membership. Thank you, my brother. Thank you so much. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to all my members, bro. Appreciate that. Got 56 watching. Please hit that like button, man. Oh man, I appreciate that, brother. Thank you so much. Yeah, over here shaving their heads and shit. Y'all crazy as hell. And it's funny too, because let me tell y'all something. I already knew my mom and my aunt. I already knew they was voting for Kamala for the same reason why a lot of women did. Is simply just because they don't like Trump, and that's pretty much how my mom voted. But what's funny is that when I talked to her about it, Cause I told her like, oh yeah, I'm like, shit, these videos over here doing numbers, man. They over here going wild over here over this shit. My mom over here, she was like, I don't know why it ain't that serious. I'm like, exactly. I'm like, y'all do realize that regardless of who won, you still gonna go out, you still gonna have to go out here and do and you still gonna have to go out here to go to work. You still gonna have to go out here and make this money. You still gotta live your life. I don't know, guy incognito. You probably want to do your homework on that before you say that. Mhm. My thing is this. I've seen too many videos of people complaining about illegal immigrants coming in, taking over, getting robbed, not feeling safe. I've seen too many videos of local people complaining about this, and then to sit around, and then to turn around and see Kamala literally say, "There's not a migrant crisis." I'm like, bro. Apparently, it's going down in my state too. Everybody keep talking about Springfield, Ohio. Springfield, Ohio. You know that's not too far from Cincinnati. And you got to think. I saw a video of somebody saying that like 75% of the voters voted for Trump on the Texas border, and that's and 97% of that population is Hispanic. Obviously, if they voted that way, something is going on, bro. Something is going on. And I don't know y'all if y'all saw who Donald Trump hired to cover the border. That man is a hard ass, bro. He is not playing, bro. He is not playing. I'm like, think about that, bro. If said wait 2 years, I'm gonna be like, bro, I don't see it, guy incognito. I don't see it. Cause when he did, cause when he made that video, didn't he mention something about people being able to have a freedom of speech and not feeling like they got to get canceled all the time. I remember him saying something about that. See, and this is my thing. See, and this is one of the reasons why I don't trust mainstream media, bro. Because guy incognito, man, I'm like everything that you saying is like I'm here. I'm like I'm seeing something completely different. Because to be honest, and you know what, TM1, and you know TM, that's exactly what it is. Exactly, TM. I'm like, that's my problem. I'm like, that's what that's see. It's one thing, and the TM. That's what I'm saying, bro. This is why I try to tell people this right here is the real. This is like real RP content. Yeah, it's okay to disagree, but if you're disagreeing based on propaganda, it's like, are you really? Uh, it don't add up to me, man. Don't add up to me. I'm like, dude. I'm like, I've seen. If you, I'm gonna put it to you like this, bro. Based on what I've seen and based on people who I know and who voted for who, when you ask people why they voted for Trump, they can tell you why. It is usually based on policy. Most of the time, when you ask people why they voted for Kamala, it always refers back to Trump. They can't say anything about Kamala. Like, bro, this woman literally this woman literally had the nerve to go on the View and say, and they asked her, like, would you change anything? Oh, not really. Like, what? Oh my God, bro. I'm just saying, bro. Like, Lord, man. This, and then the celebrities, bro. This woman is in 20 million in debt. Like, how you raise $1 billion and you 20 million in debt? It's like, damn, yeah. I see why the country in so much debt since you've been in office. But yeah, but yeah, come on back in. I'm just saying, man. It's like, damn. Yo, it's one thing to disagree, man, but it's like, come on, bro. You gotta use common sense, bro. Like, the economy is in shambles, and you want to bring somebody in that can't even manage a bill, raising a. You want to bring somebody in that's $20 million in debt after raising $1 billion. Okay. Bro, this coming from somebody who don't vote, man. Like, it's just common sense for me, bro. But it's all good, man. I'm just saying, man. That shit funny to me though. Oh my goodness. But anyway, bro, I want to go over this video of this brother, man. Cause this guy, bro, I'm telling you, man, this guy softer than a roll of cottonelle, man. Like, he just come off. I'm like, yeah, I can tell you must have been raised by a single mom or something, bro. Cause like, Candace Owens was giving him that work, bro. And I don't know, bro. Just the way y'all gonna see what I mean, man. Anyway, bro, it was on this Piers Morgan show. When it comes to Piers Morgan, I'm always kind of like off and on, man. I don't know. I got my opinions about him, but it's kind of like half and half. Sometimes I agree with him, sometimes I don't, man. It's kind of split down the middle, but I want y'all to focus on this back and forth between this other guy, Candace Owens. It's hilarious. Check this out.
Host of the Candace Owens Show, Candace Owens, and the host of Bet News, Professor and author Mark Lamont Hill. Well, Candace, let me start with you. It was a stunning set of results. But one of the more stunning things to me is that after years of being assured by the left that Trump's the worst racist to ever run for president, you saw so many black and particularly Latino voters racing to vote for him. Why?
Yeah, I knew that was going to happen. That was a big part of my prediction, was that especially Black men, you could see that they were turning away, especially after Barack Obama was really patronizing to come out. You left your Martha Vineyards estate and decided to roll up your sleeves and inauthentically tell the brothers how they have to behave. I think it's one of these things where you just
But before she get into that, I want to know, bro, in the chat, man, how did y'all feel about that, man? What did y'all think of that when Barack Obama did that? Because I'm gonna tell you right now, this is another thing that this is another reason why they lost. This is another reason why they lost. Because I told y'all before, the last time I voted was when Obama ran. And this was way before I discovered the RP or any of that. And like a blue pill beta, my mom, oh, nah, you gonna vote. I was like, man, I'm not voting. Nah, you're gonna vote. I'm just like, by this time, I already knew about the conspiracy theories, you know, about Bilderberg Group and the secret societies. So that's the reason why I didn't want to vote. I knew about that, but I just didn't know about RP content. And, you know, I'm trying to explain this to my mom, and but he's black and he's black. And I'm just like, so I just went and yada. And but after that, I never voted again. After that, I was like, I'm not trying to hear it. But to sit over here and have that same brother try to pull the same shit, and it just brought me back to the very last time I voted, and my mom made me do it, and that shit pissed me the fuck off, bro, because I didn't even want to vote, because by this point, I'm like, I know how things really move behind it. I really know who's pulling the strings. The top 10 wealthiest families in the world are pulling all the strings. They're the ones that are controlling everything. But like I said, man, that's like I said, but this is why it's true. I'm like, think about it, y'all. Can you explain to me why all this money can be raised for Kamala to run her campaign, but Donald Trump didn't get that same backing? From what I heard, for the most part, he used his own money for his campaign. I saw a graph where they were comparing, where Kamala had way more money put into her campaign. And from what I hear, they said, I don't know if Trump was just trying to be a smart ass or not, but they said, oh, she went over 20 million. Okay, they said 20 million. From what I heard, they said Donald Trump said he offered to pay off the debt. That's petty. He said, you know, we'll go ahead and pay that debt off. Like, what? Whew, man, it's funny. But anyway.
Can't keep doing the exact same thing all the time. And I expect people to wake up to your patterns. And it has been a very long pattern of them speaking to people in a manner in which they're essentially telling them that if you don't do this, it's because you're a racist. If you don't do this, it's because you're backwards. If you're a black person, it's your duty to behave like this. And fundamentally, that is racist, right? When you're not even actually saying anything based upon her policies or talking to people as if they're individuals who are having their lives impacted by their bad policies, but rather saying it's incumbent upon you as a woman to vote for her because she's a woman. It's incumbent upon you as a man to vote for him because you're black and she's going to be the first African president, which she wasn't. And so I think, and I think I've been proven correct here, the celebrity endorsements really hurt them this time around. It felt very cheesy, especially because she wasn't voted for, right? So she had 107 days. She didn't even campaign. They just kind of, it was a coronation more than anything else. It's a coronation. We've picked her for you, and you will do as we are instructing you to do and vote for her because, look, we have LeBron James and we have Beyonce, and that's what you know to do when Taylor Swift gives you a post. I think ultimately they insulted a lot of their voters.
Yeah, I mean, Mark Lamont Hill, I really feel that this time, you know, whether it was Jennifer Lopez lecturing Latinos, this is, you can't vote for this guy, or Barack Obama telling black voters, you've got to vote for the black candidate. Oprah, George Clooney, out they come, you know, as they did for Hillary Clinton, but it didn't work for her. And it didn't work for Kamala Harris. And I do feel like Candace just said, I felt it actively deterred people. I think it drove them to go and vote against what they saw as a kind of celebrity multimillionaire elite. What do you think of that?
Well, you guys made a few points I'd like to respond to. First, I don't know if celebrity culture or in the wave of celebrities deterred people from voting, I'd rather rely on the data for that. And until I see the data on that, I don't want to make a determination. I think that voters in general want to be spoken to about policy issues. I think they want to be engaged about the things that matter in their lives.
That's why the celebrity shit turned them away, idiot. I swear, bro, I hate ninjas like him, bro. I had to catch myself, bro, because I don't want to use the N-word. Ooh, man. He already agitating me, bro. He already agitating me. Like, for real, bro? Bro, misandrous as hell. Right, bro. You want to know something that pissed me off, Tim? Let me tell you something. You want to know what pissed me off when I saw the clip of Whoopi Goldberg that gonna sit over here and said, "If I had all the money in the world, I'd leave. I'm a working citizen too." Whoopi Goldberg net worth is 60 million, y'all. The fuck you talking about? And you like 60, 70 something years old. You could take that money and go somewhere and retire. She don't sit your old ugly ass down somewhere. The fuck she talking about, man? Yeah, I'm like, y'all all out of touch. I'm like, that's the reason why. I'm like, that's the man, Steve C. I'm telling you. You worth 60 million talking about some. If I had all the money in the world. You got 60 million and you retirement age. You got enough money to go somewhere, retire, live the rest of your life out, and still have money left over for people in your family to come on, man. I'm not trying to hear this shit, man. Like, you out of touch. Man, y'all about to start making me go. See, this is the shit that pissed me off about this election, man. Quit talking to people like we fucking stupid. That's the shit that irritates me, man. That's why I don't like America, bro. That's why the fuck I be spending so much time over here, man. Everybody be thinking it's just about the women and all. Nah, bro. Cause our country fucked up in the head, man. How you gonna sit over here and be more concerned about a small portion of your population when most of your population is working people and you ain't looking out for them? And the working people is what keep the country moving, bro. The fuck you talking about, man? It's just common damn sense. Fuck policy, just common damn sense, bro. Common sense.
But Barack Obama also had a ton of celebrities, and it did work. You know, I think if people like you,
that's a different scenario, bro. That was a different time. Barack Obama, he's well spoken. And identity politics, I think, played a part a little bit, along with the celebrities. You know, that was a different time, man. Compared to now, I'm like, it's a different climate now. You know, based on what's happened the last 5-10 years, I think people realize like, that probably wasn't the best choice. I think the last 4 years is what kind of made it even worse, because their ties to Barack to some degree. So, but that shit agitates me, man. Like,
celebrities are an added bonus. If they don't like you, if they don't want you, celebrities hurt. I don't think that's the issue here. I think more fundamentally, the question of whether you should vote for somebody because you're Black or because you're a woman or whatever is a little more complicated than has been suggested. I think that the message that I would give to somebody is never vote for somebody because they're Black, right? I would never vote for a candidate because they're Black, but I will vote for a candidate because I'm Black. In other words, I will vote for a candidate that speaks to my interests. And I think it's okay to say to people, hey, there are some things that affect your community, and this candidate is better for you. The problem is we should not presume that because someone is the same race as you or the same gender as you, that they have your community's best interest at heart. I do think in the case of Kamala Harris, though, an interesting thing happened, right? They were basically saying women's reproductive rights are on the table. If you specifically are pro-abortion, you should be voting for Kamala Harris because that's your only chance at saving what has already been a devastating loss. I think that is logical. If you support abortion, Donald Trump ain't the guy to vote for based on what he said and based on what Kamala Harris has said. I think.
Let's talk about this because I'm really getting sick and tired of this because I think this was like the number, for me, based on what I've seen, this is the number one reason why so many women didn't want Trump in. Let's break this down because maybe somebody in the chat can help this make sense for me. I agree, Tim, because I think it's more propaganda. That's why I want to talk about it. Let's talk about this particular topic. First of all, I want to get this out the way, and I'm going to say this because I'm going to say the silent part out loud. The real reason why women fight over this particular topic so much is because they want to be 304s. Let's just be honest. Y'all want to be 304s. Otherwise, the 4B movement wouldn't even be a thing right now that y'all over here trying to trend. You feel me? Tell me you a 304 without telling me you a 304. For real. Okay? And two, now that I got that out the way. Yeah, Jon Snow like 100. Now that I got that out the way, can you please explain to me how that falls on Donald Trump when y'all turned over Roe v. Wade in 2022? I remember because I covered it on my channel. And plus, I've had a personal experience with a woman unaliving my child because based on my math, if I remember so correctly, my child would have been about 9 or 10 years old by now if that woman would have had the baby instead of going behind my back, not saying anything and terminating it. So due to my personal experience and the fact that I know y'all just want to use it as another form of birth control, I really don't have much sympathy when it comes to this topic. So if that bothers you, sorry for you. Sorry, not sorry. But Roe v. Wade was turned over in 2022. Last time I checked, presidents only in office 4 years at a time. Donald Trump was in from 2016 to 2020. Between 2020 to now, it's been Biden. Can you please explain to me? And according to what I remember, the turnover of Roe v. Wade left it to the states to decide whether it's illegal or not. Meaning, if it's not legal in your state, you can still go somewhere else and get it done. So technically, y'all really aren't really losing y'all rights like that. And it was turned over when Trump wasn't even in office. So can you please explain to me how the fuck does this fall on Trump? Please, can somebody explain that to me in the chat? I'll wait. Based on everything I just told you, can somebody please explain to me how that makes sense? Does that not sound like propaganda to you? And y'all over here wondering why she lost by a landslide. I don't know, maybe because more people are actually doing their fucking homework and research and paying attention to what the fuck is going on. Can somebody please explain to me how that falls on Trump? when the shit was turned over when he wasn't even in office? Please explain that to me. Please explain to me how that works. Am I missing something? Please. Because all I see in the chat is people saying that I'm right and agreeing with me. Am I missing something? Okay, Marcus. I'm like, see. Yeah, I should have cued the Jeopardy music, Tiger. For real, that's what's confusing. That's why you keep seeing them. We're doing the 4B. We're doing the. I'm like, y'all, am I tripping? Like Roe v. Wade was turned over when Kamala and Biden was in. Y'all should be talking to them about that shit. What do y'all? I'm not even into politics like that, and I know this shit. How can y'all not know this shit? And y'all are the ones over here throwing temper tantrums about it. What the fuck? Like, yo, that's why these crash outs and these meltdowns are hilarious, man. It's like I'm thinking I think some of these people that are voting, they just really don't know what they're voting for. What in the world? But I'm glad and shout out to TM 1776. I'm glad. I just wanted to make sure I was on the right path with that. It never made sense to me why that was the number one reason why people were voting for her. I was like, what? Roe v. Wade got turned over while you were vice president. How does that make any sense? I gotta say, Bluff City Nerd, bro, everybody crypto wallet looked real good after Trump got in. I was looking at my crypto wallet. I was like, okay, then shit. The crypto wallet ain't looked this good in a little minute. You feel me? Like shit, Bitcoin has shot up to 90,000 all-time high. I'm like, last time, I'm like, because when I bought Bitcoin, it was probably like 60 something thousand at the time. Damn, it hit 94. I didn't know it hit 94. I know it hit like 90, 91. Damn. That's wild, bro. Oh yeah, man. Yeah. Yeah. I got some Bitcoin, I got some Ethereum, crypto, and then I got Shiba Inu and this other one. I think it's called Gala. Yeah, man. I'm like, I advise everybody to invest in the crypto, man. Multiple streams of income, man. Right, bro. I'm like, bro, if Shiba Inu explodes, I'm a millionaire. If it explodes, I'm a millionaire, bro. I got quite a few millions of that. Few million shares of that. Let's get back into it.
So what we saw in America, and what we always see in America, is that white people in general, in terms of the majority, are not going to vote for a Democrat. No Democrat has gotten the majority of white voters since like LBJ. It's been decades. And so ultimately, white people often don't vote their interests. Black people often don't vote their interests. And I think that's the problem. And that's what many of us get so frustrated.
But I had a fascinating conversation with an African-American woman, I guess in her late 30s, maybe early 40s, yesterday. And she voted Trump for the first time. And I said, why? And she said, you know, it's interesting. So I grew up in a family where you just would automatically vote for a black presidential candidate if there was one, Barack Obama, and now Kamala Harris. And she said that was how my family were. And she said, and I decided this time that I didn't care about the fact she was a woman or that she was black. I cared about what she was going to do for my personal finances, what she was going to do about the border, what she was going to do about all these things. And she talked about.
I got to stop it, y'all. When are these people going to admit that most people that voted for Trump was for the exact same reasons y'all just heard Piers Morgan say? Every time I hear a person say they voted for Trump, it's always because about the economy and the migrant crisis. The very two things that have gone very bad since Biden and Harris been in office. And to sit over here and y'all over here wondering, along with the way y'all ran the campaign, why it was such a landslide. The way y'all ran the campaign, along with the fact that the main two concerns that most voters had, they really didn't want to speak on it too much because I think things would have just continued to be the same. Kamala Harris herself said that she wouldn't change anything. Y'all made the voters' decision so easy. I mean, damn. They could have sat up there and lied to your face and told you that they were going to fix things and they probably would have got a better outcome. But damn, they didn't even do that, y'all. Yeah, and I'm tired of that too, Andy B. Like, bruh, Kamala is not black, y'all. They really need to stop that shit. Candace Owens exposed that shit too. And and to be honest with you, just for the record, because I came across a clip like that too. If y'all really wanted a black woman to become president, the woman that you see on your screen is probably y'all best option to be 100 with you. I know a lot of men that would vote for Candace Owens in a heartbeat, myself included, and I don't even vote, bro. Real talk, bro. And she's married to a white man, and I would still vote for her because I don't care. You know what I mean?
Issues. And it was really interesting. She said, so I voted, she said, you know, I was almost colorblind when I voted. I didn't care that she looked like me. I cared about what she could do for me. And I wonder, given how many black voters gravitated to Trump this time, and given particularly how many Latinos did, how many of them are having that same conversation with themselves, saying they may not even like him that much. She wasn't a particular fan of Trump's, but she just was put off by the kind of posturing of people to try and direct you to vote according to your ethnicity.
Yeah. It's fundamentally just not educated to vote for someone and say, well, this person looks like me, so that means that they have my best interests at heart. I just think it's the most uneducated thing you could possibly do. And it's especially rich when you have someone, because Mark, you just said, I maybe wouldn't vote for them because they're black, but I might vote for them because I'm black, right? And I might think that their interests align. I hope I'm paraphrasing that correctly. But the reality is even that fundamentally makes no sense. LeBron James, just because he is black, is not living the black experience of somebody who might be living on the south side of Chicago. It's actually insulting when LeBron James posts something, and you saw this in the comments, by the way, if we could use any metric, it was the fact that LeBron James had to start hiding comments because the overwhelming majority of them were negative when he made a post. And that was very propagandist. He was using things that Trump said and splicing it and behind clips of the civil rights movement. It made entirely no sense. It was offensive, an offensive level of propaganda. You have a man who lives in a $100 million Bel Air mansion, okay? He does not touch his own door handles, okay? So when he tells you about how he's worried about the future for his children, this man is so wealthy and so connected that he has a son who quite literally is not qualified in terms of his actual metrics to be playing for the Lakers. But because of good old fashioned nepotism, he is playing for the Lakers besides his father, because they thought, well, good advertisement, a father and a son playing, you know? And so when you see that taking place and this person pretending to be in the struggle, that's why I said Barack Obama exiting his mansion in Martha's Vineyard to come down and roll up his sleeves and speak to the brothers, it does resonate as insulting. And so at the end of the day, people were moved by, okay, you know what? Despite what the media rhetoric is about Trump, how am I actually living right now? And I know they're going to say, well, these statistics show, and they've released this. When I was living under Trump, the gas was low. I was able to afford gas. I was able to afford groceries. And everything the media told me the first time around about him being Adolf Hitler and telling me that he was going to put me back into slave chains didn't come true, right? It didn't come true. I already survived under Trump and I was living better. And so there was this common sense element. And I knew that that was going to happen. And it's beautiful.
Wow. Did y'all hear that? Common sense element. Imagine that. Did I not just say that earlier? Yo, you can't make this shit up. Wow.
To see. It's beautiful to see people say, I'm not going to respond to that sort of a rhetoric anymore. I'm not going to vote because I'm a woman or because I'm Black, but I'm going to vote what actually makes sense.
Yeah, Mark, you're shaking your head a lot there. Why?
Because he's a bitch ass ninja. That's why.
Well, to the first point, Candace, you may not have heard the second part of what I said. I said I vote for someone because I'm Black. I said, but I also added, I don't presume that because someone shares my color that they represent my interests. So I don't assume that the Black person is the best person to represent the Black community, or that the woman is the best person to represent women's interests. I added that part as well. So we're actually not in disagreement there. I think it's really important to look at the agenda. I have voted in the past for old white men, old white ladies. I didn't vote for Barack Obama when he was on the ticket in '08 as a Green Party member, because I thought that the white woman who was running against him, or at that point actually a Black woman, had a better chance of meeting my issues. I voted for Jill Stein instead of Hillary Clinton. There have been moments where I don't make that alignment, but I do think we have to vote based on our collective community interests. I think it's interesting, though, that to say someone like LeBron James can't speak for the conditions of a poor person or the everyday Black experience of the person struggling in America, if we make that argument, because he's a near billionaire, if not a billionaire, then it would be really hard to make the argument that Trump has the ability to speak for the average Joe. It's sort of interesting that Trump's whole candidacy, his whole campaign has been based on saying, look, his whole candidacy is saying, his whole campaign has said, look, I know what is best to heal America. The people who are working in factories, when he goes down to places like Ohio or Pennsylvania, I've literally stood there as he said, I can get you back working again. I know what you're going through and I can fix the economy for you. And hear me out. Yes. I'm not saying that's wrong. I'm saying that if you have $1 billion, you might be able to do that, although I hate billionaires. And if you have no money, you might be representing the interests of the rich. Again, we can't assume a one-to-one correlation between people's own identity and status and what they're representing, because when we do that, we make a lot of dangerous assumptions. So I'm not going to reject LeBron James because he's rich. I'm going to reject him if I were to, because I don't agree with his argument. Similar to Donald Trump, I happen to agree with LeBron James, though, in this particular case, that Donald Trump did not best represent the interests of the people. While I don't think identity politics should govern our decision-making process, I also don't want us to be naive either as a nation. I don't want us to assume that nobody rejected Kamala Harris because of her womanness, or nobody rejected Kamala Harris because of her Blackness. And the reason why I say that is because when we look at the campaign trail, when we look at the surrogates for Trump and other people, or people who just don't like either of them, but are still calling Kamala Harris a whore or a slut or the N-word. I mean, these are things that absolutely suggest that misogyny and misogynoir play into it.
Man, that shit got me so hot, bro. Man, fuck. Real? I can't. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm sorry. I had to get up on that one, bro. I'm mad as hell, bro. Oh my goodness, man. Now y'all understand why I named the title of this live show. Do we got too many black beta men? This is definitely one of them, y'all. Definitely one of them.
Beta!
Bruh, come on, bro. He really went there, bro. He really went there, bro. Bruh, I'm trying to calm down, y'all. I just need a second, man. Bro. Let's not try to be naive and act like misogyny and sexism doesn't play a part, bro. Even if it did, bro, you know damn well that is a very small percentage of the voters, bro. Let's cut the shit, man. This is what pisses me off about some of these people in the Democratic Party, bro. Y'all are disingenuous as fuck, man. Because this is what I'm noticing between the two parties, man. It's, oh my God, man. Oh, God. It just pisses me off when it comes from a man because I'm like, dude, you're making the same exact talking points as a woman and that shit. And then y'all see the way he talking. He over here. Bro, then I said that earlier, bro. He kind of come off like he was raised by a single mom. Oh.
Candace, you want to respond?
Yeah, if I may respond. First and foremost, Trump has never tried to say I am a blue collar worker. So that's just completely wrong. He actually leans into the fact that he is. Well, you correlated him to LeBron James, and you said, well, he does the exact same thing that LeBron James is doing. No, LeBron James pretends that he is living a struggle. Trump does not. Trump says, I'm rich. I run a company and I can help you get rich. He literally makes jokes about the fact that he's rich when he's at these events, and he's tossing jokes about, I'm a billionaire. I've done this. Like, he is the New York City stereotype billionaire who basically says, I've run businesses and I'm going to run this country like a business and I'm going to lift you up. And I understand how trade works because I've been running a business. So I just fully reject that he's somehow cosplaying a blue collar worker. Blue collar workers are responding to him because he speaks in a way that they believe that he's going to uplift them. That's great. I'm happy we agree on that point, but you did try to correlate him to LeBron James 5 seconds ago. And that's just not the truth. But
don't be shaking your head, you bitch ass ninja. That's exactly what the fuck you just tried to do, man. See, I'm telling you, bro. I don't like these dudes that operate like females, man. Cause let me tell you something, bro. Cause I got people who be trolling my channel. And y'all know my most infamous troll, he back at it again on the same bullshit. They all operate the same way, man. They want to say, they want to talk shit, and then when you call them out on it, they either ain't got shit to say or disactivating their comments and or they over here, oh nah, I didn't do that. I didn't say that, bro. You literally just did that shit a few seconds ago. The fuck you mean, bro? Bitch ass.
To respond to your point, because this has really bothered me. People pretending that those who have told the truth about the fact that Kamala Harris did.
Damn right, I want to slap him, bro. I want to, and I ain't talking about the person on the screen either. The person I want to put hands on, I'm like,
sleep with Willie Brown and was not warranted to the position that she has, district attorney. Pretending that this came up because she's running for president or because there's some element of misogyny, that is patently false. It was actually leftist newspapers at the time that she was running in Los Angeles. I pulled up these old articles in the San Francisco Chronicle who were scandalized. They felt that it was a scandal that she was being given so much power, that she was being put on boards that she did not deserve to be put on, and that she was being given those positions and making all that money not based on her merit, but because she was having an affair with Willie Brown. Again, these were the leftist San Francisco articles that were covering it at this time. You can go back, way back machine it, and read those articles yourself. So people point to the fact that she was essentially coronated because of who she was sleeping with in the past, and then now is essentially just being handed another position, not because people voted for her. I think it's relevant to the discussion of whether or not she is qualified for that position. That's fine. And the last thing I'll say is that I found it to be really alarming and borderline satanic in the manner that they ran to women and said, well, this is the election that hinges upon abortion. And I am not saying this even as a critique of people that are pro-choice. I actually think they moved away from pro-choice. They went like pro-death. It was very bizarre. It wasn't like, the typical we are pro-choice and you are pro-life. They essentially were coming to women, and their only basis for saying to vote for her is, well, the only thing women could possibly care about is whether or not we have the authority to, murder our offspring. I don't think that actually resonated even on the left. They're not that radical on the topic of abortion to make your entire platform hinge upon it. And I think that's the reason why so many people who otherwise are okay with the pro-choice movement, we also saw in those exit polls, moved away. Women moved away totally from the Democratic platform. I think it was a big mistake to hinge an entire election upon the topic of abortion in the way that they did.
Yeah, and Mark, before you respond to that, what I would say about that, and I was discussing this on a BBC interview last night, is it seemed to me there was a real inconsistency, if not hypocrisy. On the one hand, Kamala Harris wanted to make the whole thing about, I represent women's rights. Vote for me and I'll protect women's rights. And using abortion as her reason for that and bringing back abortion rights and so on. And that's fine, except that at the same time, she has also been actively promoting the issue, for example, of trans athletes in women's sport, which most people can see is an erosion of women's rights. It's unfair, it's unequal. Last week, the United Nations said that 900 medals have been deprived from women athletes by trans athletes competing against them, which is obviously completely outrageous. And we saw the scenes in Paris where boxers with male chromosomes were literally beating up women in front of the world. I mean, the whole thing was grotesque. I don't know how the Democrats could consistently say to women, we are here for protecting women's rights, when at the same time they're advocating a direct attack on women's rights.
Damn, when you put it like that, that's kind of fun. I'm sorry. Oh, sorry. Oh shit. Oh shit. Oh no. Hey, Pierce Morgan got a point. Hey, I told y'all I don't agree with him all the time, but damn it, man. How do you argue that? Think about that. Yo, think about that for a minute, bro. Oh my God, bro. Think about this for a minute. Yeah, we want to protect your rights, but we don't want to protect you from getting your ass kicked. Damn. This is why I done said 100 damn times, man. Give the trans people their own league, bro. Give the trans people their own league, please. That'll take care of all. But they'll never do that because because they can't monetize it, man. They ain't gonna be able to make no money off of that. Damn, that's wild. Piers Morgan, hey man. Ooh, Piers Morgan, that's tough. That's a tough question, bro. I want to see how he gonna answer this. Sorry. Because, dude, that's always bothered me. Like, women already have it bad enough as far as just trying to get eyes on themselves to watch women's sports. And then y'all gonna let trans women compete with them, knowing damn well they're gonna have an advantage no matter how many testosterone blockers they use. Come on, man. Oh yeah, Mrs. Donna. That's another reason people voted for Trump. You know, like it's been stories of it's been stories of men identifying as women and going into women's bathrooms and taking advantage of little girls and women and shit. I done heard stories about that as well. That's another reason why people voted for Trump. Yeah, I heard that as well. Wow. When you think about it in that manner, it kind of makes it. Thinking about that, if there were people out there that voted for Trump for that reason, especially if you got daughters, sisters, and things of that, I can understand that. Yeah. Ooh, damn. I want to see how he's gonna answer this. Woo.
Yeah, I want to respond to the point that Candace made prior.
I want you to respond to what Piers Morgan said. Fuck what Candace talking about. Candace destroyed your argument. I want to hear what you see, operating like a damn woman.
Again, it wasn't me pivoting or shifting my position. I wasn't suggesting that Donald Trump or LeBron James were cosplaying. I'm saying that neither is cosplaying. I think my point is not that LeBron James is a legitimate poor person. My point is he's a rich person who is able to speak to the experiences of a poor person, someone who was dirt poor at one point, and now he's pivoted.
Sir, when he was dirt poor, he was staying with his folks. Now, not to say that Donald Trump grew up like that, because I'm pretty sure he didn't. But you can't really say you know what it's like unless you actually had to get it yourself and still live like that. From the time LeBron graduated high school, he was up. Okay? As a kid, you don't have to make a living to survive because you are not a legal adult. So, yeah, LeBron may know, but he don't really know. You feel me? Like, come on, man. Like, let's stop it, man.
That's what I'm saying he's doing. And I'm saying no matter what class position you're in, if your politics are right, then you can speak to the issue. That's all I'm saying. I was never suggesting the thing that you were representing me to have been saying. It sounds like it was just a miscommunication, because I actually don't disagree with you on the big point. As far as the race piece of this, or the misogyny piece of this, pointing to a left-wing newspaper and saying, well, look, it's not misogyny. A left-wing newspaper was questioning this. Left-wing newspapers are misogynist. Democrats are misogynist. You know, misogyny isn't a right-wing problem. It's a universal problem. So just because it's in a left-wing newspaper doesn't nullify
but it's a
the
valid
claim
critique. I'm sorry to cut you off. I don't like to cut you off, but I just want to say, do you not think it's a valid critique if somebody is given a job, not because they're qualified, but quite literally because they are sleeping with someone who gave them the position, which, like I said, caused a firestorm at that time? Do you not think it's a valid critique to say, well, they weren't even qualified to be the DA, and now all of a sudden they're trying to tell you that they're qualified to be the president of the United States? Don't you think that's a valid critique, setting aside misogyny?
If that were the point I was making, I would agree with you. But that wasn't the point. That was an example you gave that wasn't responsive to the point I was making. I'm saying right now, as she's running for president, there are people saying she's unqualified for the office. I think it's much more of a reasonable question to raise. 20 years ago when she's running for DA, I didn't take issue with that, right? Although I don't know enough about the Willie Brown situation to speak to it. If what you're saying is true, then yeah, you should question that. But I'm saying right now in 2024, after serving as vice president, after serving in the U.S. Senate, after serving as a district attorney, after having all of these jobs, state attorney general, I don't think qualification is the right thing to raise. I think it's perfectly reasonable to say, I don't think she's good at this. I think it's perfectly reasonable to say,
well, okay, but what about the point?
I think it's a different issue.
Let's move
to the transport.
Yes.
I'm going to the trans point.
I want to punch him, bro. Because you could tell Piers Morgan is trying to move on to get him to answer the question that Piers Morgan asked him. And he's so focused on Candace and over here talking over the host. Yeah, Tim, he out of pocket. Man, you over here like, bro. If I was Piers Morgan, I would have been like, bro, shut the fuck up. You talked enough. Now answer my question. You over here trying to tiptoe what I asked you.
To the trans point, I don't think it's a contradiction for Democrats to do that unless they accept the terms of your argument. Let me be clear. If you think that trans women are not women, then yes, it would be a violation of women's rights to say that trans women should be boxing. I happen to believe.
I'm sorry. Mark.
I need to finish. No. I insist on finishing this point because I will not be cut off and misrepresented. But let me make the point.
Okay.
I happen to believe that biological males should not participate in women's sports. I am fine taking that position. Yeah, that's my point. Sometimes if you hear me out, you'll realize we're not even debating. But there are many Democrats who don't take that position. There are many people on the left who believe that, and let me be clear, I think trans women are women. I just think sports are divided in a very particular way. In 8th grade, we make a decision that we need to divide sports up by gender or by sex, right?
Did any of y'all just catch that, bro? Or do I need to play that back again, bro? This man said, I think trans women are women, but I think biological men should not be playing in women's sports. Did any of y'all just hear that? No, I'm gonna play. I want to make sure y'all catch that because I can't believe I just heard that. Listen to this shit.
Then yes, it would be a violation of women's rights to say that trans women should be boxing. I happen to believe, to the trans point, I don't think it's a contradiction for Democrats to do that unless they accept the terms of your argument. Let me be clear. If you think that trans women are not women, then yes, it would be a violation of women's rights to say that trans women should be boxing. I happen to believe.
I'm sorry. Mark.
I need to finish. No. I insist on finishing this point because I will not be cut off and misrepresented. But let me make the point. I happen to believe that biological males should not participate in women's sports.
Y'all heard that. I believe biological males should not participate in women's sports.
I am fine taking that position. Yeah, that's my point. Sometimes if you hear me out, you'll realize we're not even debating. But there are many Democrats who don't take that position. There are many people on the left who believe that, and let me be clear, I think trans women are women.
See? Bro. Yo, bruh, I told y'all, bro, you cannot make this shit up, bro. Can't make it up, bro. This man, bro, he contradicted Jacoby. He literally contradicted himself in a matter of like 15 seconds. Yo. This man said, unbelievable, man. Oh my God, bro. I'll tell you, the left, y'all are in shambles. This is proof. You can't make this shit up, bro. This man said biological men that are born biological should not be in women's sports. And then 5 seconds later, I believe trans women are women. Jesus Christ, man. Maybe I should become a politician because apparently I got more common sense than y'all. Oh, shit. Good God, bruh. Yo. Yeah, he.
I just think sports are divided in a very particular way. In 8th grade, we make a decision that we need to divide sports up by gender or by sex, right? Because we believe that there's something fundamentally different about biological boys and biological girls that say we shouldn't be running on the same track team. We shouldn't be boxing each other. I'm okay with that argument. I agree with that argument. I don't want to speak for Candace, but I suspect she agrees with me on this, and I suspect you agree with me on that. So we're not in disagreement on that. But just because I have that position doesn't mean that everyone who disagrees with me is being a hypocrite, because they don't begin from the same premise that I begin from. That's all I'm saying. So I don't think it's contradictory.
Hang on. Okay.
You don't think it's contradictory? You just contradicted yourself, bruh. What do you mean? Hey, bruh. When I'm finished with this live, I'm gonna go back and clip this shit and put it on my shorts, bro, so people can you gotta see that. That's crazy. Sorry, it's funny as hell.
But, all right, hang on. But what other premise could there possibly be? The bottom line is these are people who were born biological males who are competing against biological females. And there's a reason why we don't do that in sport. It's why the Olympics have always separated the sexes, because the truth is, if they didn't, women wouldn't win any medals.
Look, I mean, listen, I know that
I think what you should do is bring someone in who has the position that you're trying to debate. It's like you're trying to force a debate with me on something that we agree on. So bring on somebody who has the opposite position and they can speak for that. But what I'm
You just said you think trans women are women, bro. Right after you said biological men should not be playing in women's sports. Therefore, y'all actually disagree. Or you just confused. Or you just so busy over here trying to talk over everybody that you ain't thinking before you speak. One of the three. Boy, man.
Saying is
right.
that
I just wanted to add here, like, just to say where we do actually differentiate, like, trans women are absolutely not women. And that's why we're playing the crazy game right now, is because we have people that are trying to parse reality and say, well, I believe trans women are women, but they're also biological men. Like, the fact that we are calling them trans women, it is because they are not women. I am a woman, and no matter how you feel on the inside, you are never.
You see, I disagree. But you disagree, but Piers Morgan just said 900 medals were taken away from women due to trans party. Apparently, not only do people in the left lack common sense, apparently they're delusional too. Okay.
for going to be a woman, and that disagreement, that fundamental disagreement, is the reason why we are playing the crazy game. I won't play it. I will not address a man that is an address as a woman. It's insulting to me. It's insulting to the things that actual women lived through in their lives. And you can play Halloween. You can put lipstick on a pig. It is still a pig, and it is just Halloween. So I just feel very strongly about that, and I wanted to make that clear. And that this is a large part, though, Piers, going back to your point of why, because my sisters were on the left, and this is the first election that they voted for Trump. They're from Connecticut, dyed-in-the-wool Democrats, I guess you could say, and they moved away. And the trans issue was the number one reason that they did.
Yeah.
What they said was happening in the school system made them fearful. They have sons. They thought it was completely crazy and bizarre that they're insisting upon trying to make toddlers. My sisters have toddlers believe that they can be anything that they want and that they're non-binary. They truly believe the left has gone crazy. And they say, I didn't leave the left left me. And that is an accurate statement to make, because they cannot just see things that are just so plainly obvious. They are trying to criminalize.
I'm sorry, man, but it really pisses me off when she's over here explaining to you how parents are concerned about their kids, and you just over here shaking your head like this. The fuck is wrong with you, bro? Yeah, you know what? Because somebody said it in the comments, bro. How much are they paying you? For real. You mean to tell me you think it's like, bruh, remember there was a time when a kid would go to their parents and have those kind of conversations. Now they're over here trying to indoctrinate kids in schools. I remember I covered this a while ago about elementary kids. They got trans people and people that do the trans people that do like the burlesque shows and shit over here dancing all provocative and doing weird shit in front of these 6, 7, 8-year-old kids. The fuck going on? Why would you want your kids exposed to that shit at that age? That's weird. And you just over here, yeah, drag queens, Tim. That's weird as hell, bro. I sent my kids to school to get an education. Not having no drag queens dancing in front of them and shit. What the fuck? Of course parents are going to be concerned about that. And if that's what y'all pushing on the Democratic side, of course that's going to make people vote for somebody else, especially if they're concerned about their kids, man. Goofy, bruh. Swear, man, something is really wrong with America, bro.
The idea that a woman is a woman and you can't just become a woman because you feel a certain way on the inside. And the right, like I'm doing right now, I will just say it as it is, right? You are not a woman. I am sorry that you are suffering from a mental disorder. If you were suffering from any other mental disorder, I would treat you the same way. I want you to get better. But because you are suffering from a mental disorder does not mean that I have to pretend that I have a mental disorder and that I see things differently. I don't.
I mean, Mark, I'll let you respond directly to what Candace says there. Well, let me just point out one thing.
Elmer Fudd head ass.
So
let me just point out one thing. There was a New York Times report today that said that one of the most effective Trump ads during the presidential race towards the end was the one where he had Kamala Harris saying, she'll call you they, them. I'll call you, you, or whatever it was. And that turned out to be, to the Trump campaign team's surprise, one of their most effective ads of the whole race, apparently, which suggests it is a much bigger issue than some Democrats clearly want people to think. I saw Joe Scarborough on this yesterday, very vocal, saying this trans issue has gone completely wrong. The Democrats should not be supporting this kind of thinking. And Bill Clinton, apparently, according to the New York Times, he directly tried to get the Democrats and Kamala Harris and her team to understand that they had to come out against this. But they didn't. And that is, I think, a big problem, particularly, as I say, the reason I think it's a big problem is if at the same time you're trying to say, I'm the person protecting women's rights. One of the reasons why so many women didn't vote for her may be because they just didn't buy it. Sorry, if you did, you wouldn't allow this.
Right. I'll respond to all those points. I think they're interesting points. I think, one, I'm not sure anyone, and again, I need to see the data to speak to this, just as we all should. I don't think anyone is voting for the president based on this issue. It could be an issue that tips the scale, but I think most people aren't voting for president based on this issue. I just don't think it's the priority issue of most people.
Mothers are.
I do. Again, they may be. I'd like to see the evidence of that. I can't say definitively one way or the other, but it's never happened before in any election, so this would be the first time. So if it's true, just show me the evidence, and I'm happy to learn from it. But to the bigger point here, I think that we can say, when I say women, I'm including cisgender women, I'm including transgender women. When I say women, I'm including all of their experiences. When I want to protect women, I don't just want to protect cisgender women, I want to protect transgender women. When it comes to sports, for me, it's about a competitive advantage. If someone were a cisgender woman, which we've seen before, that had high levels of testosterone, but were not trans, just had high levels of testosterone that gave a competitive advantage, I would say they also should not compete. It's not their transness. It's about keeping a level playing field. And I believe, as a general rule, and there might be some exceptions, but as a general rule, a person who is a trans woman in particular, and we see this actually on the converse, when trans male boxers attempt to compete with cis male boxers, the trans women lose. They lose badly. And honestly, I worry about their safety and their health. So it's not a safe playing field. But that doesn't mean that to acknowledge the womanness and the humanity and the fundamental dignity and legitimacy of trans identities is to play make-believe or to play fairy tales. I think we can acknowledge their humanity. And most Democrats, most Democrats, I think, who I speak to, and again, I'm not a Democrat, but I'm on the left. Most Democrats, I think, share the position I have. I don't think most people, at least in my neighborhood, my community, I'll talk about Black people in particular, think that trans folks should be playing in sports, right? In ways that create competitive disadvantage.
Well, let's agree on that central point.
They recognize and
just to be okay. Okay, hang on. Well, we've got about 3 minutes left. Candice,
I feel so strongly about this. Yeah, I just feel strongly about this.
I think you've made your point strongly. I just want to ask you, with just a few minutes left, what do you want Trump to do? He's got an incredible mandate here. What would you like to see him do, Candice, to really transform America in a positive way?
Yeah, absolutely. Everything that he promised he would do. Secure the borders. I want him to get the illegals out of this country. It fundamentally is hurting the workers, particularly the blue collar workers, is hurting Black Americans. It's why you saw men moving away from this. And obviously Latinos are upset about it as well, to try to conflate being a legal Latino citizen with being an illegal. I think is something that has been upsetting to people. I very much want him to go after the deep state. I know I saw peers that you tweeted, and many people have this sentiment, like, we should take the high road now. We should walk away from this. We shouldn't go after Hunter Biden. I think it's the exact opposite. He took the high road in the first time that he was in office, and look what they did to him afterwards. We need to root out this corruption and truly go after the Department of Justice, because if they will do this to a sitting president, how safe does an American feel? I want him to instantly, on first day in the office, to take care of Edward Snowden and Julian Assange, to issue them both pardons. And I want to make sure the people that are around him do a very good job at deregulating this economic environment. I look forward to seeing what RFK Jr. does to the CDC. He has been onto them for a very long time, absolutely collapsed Big Pharma, what they did throughout COVID, the bureaucratic state that was a warning to what will come if we allow the state to continue to grow. And he's got to fundamentally shrink government, secure the borders, and root out the corruption of the Department of Justice and the deep state.
And Mark, we've got about a minute. What would you want him to do?
A bunch of stuff that he's not going to do. I'd love to see him.
He had to be raised by a single mom. He had to.
Him hike the minimum wage to a living wage. I'd love to see him cut off funding to Israel. I'd love him to restore full funding to the Palestinian people through UNRWA, and in fact, increase that funding. I'd love to see him sign a reparations agenda. I'd love to see universal health care for all. I'd love to see student debt forgiveness. I'd love to see him, jump back into all the international climate agreements that he's pulled out from in the past and commit to staying in them. And I'd love to see him have a humane border policy. We may disagree on what humane looks like, but we absolutely need one. So I'd love to see him do all that stuff. And if he does all that stuff, I will fight for a constitutional change to give him a third term.
Bro, you do realize that the person that you're defending wasn't going to change much of that either, right? Do realize that, you know what? I'm done.
You know what? If he does all that stuff, it's highly likely that the reason is he's transitioned into being Kamala Harris, and that ain't gonna happen. Not on Trump's watch. Thank you both very much. Great debate. Appreciate it.
I tell you, boy, this beta male, bro. Super beta.
Yeah. Beta!
Let me get caught up on these super chats, man. Dino with the $5 super chat says, first time donating because I can't send super chats because I'm in Jamaica, but I'm using a VPN. And yes, we have too many gal clowns in the community. Oh, man. Appreciate that, brother, man. Thank you for that super chat. Craig with the $2 super chat said, this guy clearly failed biology in school. Shaking my head. Thank you for that, brother. Appreciate it. I tell you, man, damn, 66% of them voted for Kamala. Damn. So yeah, I'm glad you posted that, Alex. I had to look like, oh, let me make sure before I get off of here. All right, we all good. Oh man. He said I'm surrounded by liberals. I'm gonna be honest with you. It's going back to America is gonna be interesting in a couple of weeks. You know, just to see what the temperature is gonna be like. 51% voted for Trump. Women voted for Trump. I'm not surprised there. You got to think, man. You got to think, bro? Who been complaining about inflation more, women or men? It's definitely women complaining about inflation the most. So I'm not surprised that the economy took a priority over all the shit that the Democrats are talking about, and I think that played a big part, man. I really do. It's like at the end of the day, what's more important to you, man? Being able to keep food on the table and money in your pocket, or being a 304? Because for real, like you can keep your legs closed, but I'm like, even if that is the case, like I said, man, all they did was just drop it down to the states. I'm like, these women can still get those terminations if they want to. Like they overreacting. Oh, y'all got a lot of liberals and out there too in Vegas. Okay. And see, here's my thing, man. I'm just, bro. I'm just all about what makes sense, man. And I'm big on people thinking for themselves and not just doing what somebody else told them to do, aka propaganda. You know what I'm saying? And it's a lot of that on TV. And for real, I think America is finally starting to wake up and see through the bullshit. And I think that's the reason why this election turned out the way it did. Because I'm gonna be honest with you, I expected Trump to win, but damn, bro, I mean landslide sweep. You took the House, you took the Senate. I mean, and won electoral votes, popular vote. I mean, across the board, America spoke and said enough is enough. Wow. Wow, 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 wow. And sometimes I wonder if maybe that's the reason why there's so much outrage. Maybe the reason why there's so much outrage because it was such a definitive win. Like there's no way you can sit over here and try to say, it must have been rigged or it must have been like, no. It was clear as day who wasn't even close. Damn. Woo. And because they've been focused on the right thing, on the wrong thing, they pretty much are doubling and tripling down on it now, man. Like, because I covered a video as well. It seemed like they're trapped. Seems like they're trapped, man. I think you got a lot of people who are probably going to disappear for a minute and then they're going to come back and act like we can't remember what they was trying to push before. And they're going to try to switch up after they disappear for a limit, for a small amount of time. Because I don't know if y'all heard, but it's a lot of people on the left, supporters. They over here getting rid of their Twitter and X accounts and shit. I think Don Lemonhead being one of them. Joy Reid. Pretty much everybody that's a non-Trump supporter over here taking down their Twitter accounts and shit. I'm like, y'all crazy as hell, bro. I'm like, y'all taking this shit so harsh, bro. It's funny as hell. Oh my god! I'm like, this man hasn't even been sworn in yet, and y'all over here losing y'all shit. Oh man, 63 watching. Please hit that like button, man. Yeah, for real, Mr. G Rap, for real. Her, Sonny, and Joy from The View. Oh my God, I can't stand them. Especially Sonny. I can't believe she married. Good Lord. I'm like, her husband, like, bro. Her husband gotta be. Yeah, he gotta be beta. Jeez. Anyway, man, I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this up. We are going close to 2 hours, 68 watching. Please hit that like button on the way out. Shout out to everybody that sent the super chat and supported. I appreciate you guys. Much love. Tomorrow, I'm gonna be doing a call-in. And I'm gonna be asking guys share their thoughts, bring people up one at a time, asking your thoughts on if you think this kind of content swayed the voters. Because obviously there are some women out there that blame this kind of content as to why the election turned out this way. So I want to hear the guys' opinion since there are women that are saying this on TikTok. So I think that'll be interesting. And I haven't really done a call-in show in a very long time. Interact with you guys and chop it up. So that's going to be tomorrow's nice live show. But until then, you guys, y'all know what time it is. Y'all know how we ride out when we fly out. Deuces.